Hey, what's up everyone? How's it going? Today is March 1st, 2022. This probably won't air till tomorrow, which will be the 2nd of March. And we're talking about my graffiti war with JA. As I explained in my past podcast, that we were going under Central Park and all the trains were dying out. There was hardly any trains left at all. It's gotten to the point where that was literally like the only place left to ride on trains down under Central Park. And JA never really went back down there again. I believe that's the point when he started riding all over the streets up above. I continued riding on trains and stuff, and like I honestly kept going down there until the day I went down there, and it was actually just new trains down there. Like I remember that, like the brand new trains, not clean trains, because sometimes they used to put the JFKs and they put ding dongs down there sometimes, you know, that were pretty clean. I mean, a few people might have a couple of fillings on them and shit, but nothing like the flats. And, you know, they put clean ridges down there sometimes towards the end also, but I'm talking about like a new train. When they started putting the new ones, I was like, oh shit, ow. Like, it's over. You know, for real. I remember that shit coming around the bend, and I was like, get the fuck. I mean, we rode on the fucking things anyway, but yeah, that shit was heartbreaking. That was the day. And I'll tell you, that place started getting really fucking dangerous down there. It started getting really wild. Like, the only people that were going down there still at this point was just real diehard graph heads and dudes that were like built like that and that were willing to do that shit. Yeah, very few people. A lot of people just fell off at that point. Like, you know, and even with me, people that I hung out with and wrote with, you know, once the new trains were like, it was just, yeah, I'm done, Rob. It's been fun. Peace. You know, like I never see these people again. True story. But JA wasn't going back down there. Honestly, like PK had mentioned to me, and I do remember that too, and I think I actually talked about that because I bumped into them a few times. But there was a time when JA was down there also with Smith and Sane. I remember PK was telling me that. I was there with PK. And Smith and Sane were there. And this is before all this shit erupted. This is like the first week or two, you know, when they were making a bunch of noise and shit like this. I think this time was actually before that even. But there was a time when me and PK, KK was there, D3 was there. And there was a subway car, and Smith and Sane were painting this shit with house paint. And I remember being like, fucking like Keith Haring or something over here. They got house paint. I mean, now I sit back and think about it. It's pretty fucking smart, man. It's clever. I mean, what is it, $12 for a gallon of fucking white paint? Back then, probably $9 or something like that. Yeah, fucking smart, you know. And it probably looked good. You couldn't, you know, look like a solid fucking filled-in thing with it. I saw it when it was running. So kudos to them for that. That wasn't a stupid idea. But yes, there was a time when JA was down there with them also. Then I think came the next time is when they were down there with Omni, jumping around making a bunch of noise and drinking and shit like that, from what I explained. But after that, we never ever saw him down there again. And I mean, you look at these people that were actually going down there, and these people that take pictures and stuff, and you can actually see the pictures. These people post them. Ven's got a lot of good pictures of me crossing him out and him crossing us out. PM is another guy that was going around down there a lot. Joey Fuel, Revs, that whole group of people, PMer, P-M-E-R, PMer. Yeah. All those guys were still, they were taking a lot of photos, and yo, the photos don't lie. You won't see JA over me. You'll see Ven over me. You'll see Ghost over me. You might see TK. He would go over me a little bit here and there. I wasn't really his prime target. I don't. He just kind of, he would go over me, but I got pictures of him over me. And who else is going over me now? And all of the TMR guys, Saint, Scent, whoever else was with those guys. Yeah, there was a whole mess of people just smashing me. But you will not see JA on that shit at all in any of those photographs taken. And you will not see me over him either, because he was like, fuck that shit, I ain't going down there, man. Because he kind of knew we were a little wild. I mean, you know, people talk, man. There's, you know, still to this day, there's rumors about me and some of this shit that I've done. I mean, it's not necessarily that we go as far as to say rumors. I mean, obviously I was out there doing some nasty shit to people, you know. But yeah, nah, fucking wild shit, man. But J.A. never went back down there. And I'll tell you, towards the end, like I just said, man, that place was getting pretty fucking dangerous, man. Like, one weekend I'm down there, I believe it was a weekend, and Destiny's crew, you know, Show Dome, DC3, and them, fucking pull out a fucking gun on me, man. Yeah, for real. Ready to shoot me in the fucking head, man. True story. Then the week after that, I get shot with a fucking flare gun. Like point blank range, man. I come around the bend. Boom! I'm like on fire. For real, my neck's all burnt and shit like that. I fractured ribs and shit. Yeah, no fucking lying, man. That shit was crazy. And I remember, like I was just explaining to you, I'm going to get into that right now. That'll be the power of this podcast, the point of this podcast. I smoked a little weed, you know. But anyway, let me smoke a little more. Fuck it, right? Y'all ain't gonna say nothing. No. Yeah, let me tell you this. Remember the last podcast I was telling you about JJ hitting this guy in the head with a hatch key. Like with these keys that we had that could open all the subway hatches. It was a key that we actually stole from the subway system. If you look back at my past podcast, we used to actually rob this place and steal power tools. The whole neighborhood was doing it. I mean, it's not unreal. I mean, you look at the Irish with the Jacob Javits Center. You look at the Italians with JFK Airport. I mean, it's what people do, you know. You know, it's good money. So, yeah, people were making a lot of money off that shit down there. Anyway, make a long story short. This one time I'm talking about with JJ, he hit the guy in the head with this fucking thing. Boosh! I explained it all in my past podcast. And the guy fell down. He stops moving. I'm thinking, oh shit, killed the guy. We gotta go throw him under the seats of the subway car. You go inside the car, pull the doors open up to bring him into there. You open up the seat inside the thing, throw him underneath it. Close it up. Shit, they ain't no gonna know where that happened, man. They'll find him eventually. They'll start stinking. But that's serious. But then it winds up the guy wasn't dead. He kind of wakes up. Like I said, I was reaching under his armpits. JJ was going to pick up his ankles. The guy wakes up and he's pleading for his life. Help, help, please stop. And I was explaining to the guy, look, I'm sorry. I didn't know we had problems. I have no problems with you. We're cool, right? Like I'm telling the guy all this shit. He's freaking the fuck out. But yeah, so John did that shit, right? And the next night, you know, that happened at probably about 2, 3 in the morning. And the next night, maybe about 11:30, 12 o'clock at night, we're getting ready to go back down there. There's some Laces with us. We're going to do some, he had a whole car. Laces always doing a whole car. I'll tell you, man, he's really underrated, man. One day I'm going to have him on here, and I'm going to put all his shit on it, because we got pictures of everything he's done. Yeah, as he would be out there. He makes sure he got pictures. Some of them I got fucked up in the past or something, but yeah, we could definitely put that together one day. Anyway, we're over Lace's house. And we're in his kitchen. I forget what it was, man. I fucked up on something. It was like nothing to do with graffiti. It was like some criminal shit. I forget what it is. You know, I swindled a couple extra dollars. Like I held on to some money and acted like I got paid less, and they figured it out. Or I sold an item or something like that for cheaper. Like some shit we stole or something, like some criminal shit, you know. So I think it was that. Like I think it was like I sold something for a couple of $100, and then I told Andrew and JJ and them I got less for it. But then they actually bumped into the person I sold it to and told them the right price or some shit like that. So I got caught out there. So they're like, yeah, there's that. And JJ's like, yo, how can you do that shit, Rob? You know, JJ, John, he's like, you know, Lace's like, yo, that's fucked up, Rob, you know. So little John, you know, JJ, he gets in my face. He's like, yeah, man, yo, that's fucked up, man. How you going to scheme like that, yo, and this, that? I'm like, me? Yo, I was like, yo, Drew, this dude almost killed someone last night in the train tunnel. He bashed the guy in the head with a fucking thing, you know, the hatch key, or whatever the hell it is. I said, the guy was on the floor. He was flipping around like a fish out of water. This is what I'm telling Lace, like I'm actually dropping dime. I'm telling on JJ. You know, because they were mad at me for, I don't know, some shit, like I said, some criminal weird shit. We were always fucking around doing some weird shit. So I was like, yeah, but John almost killed someone last night. So his defense was, yo, the dude didn't die, you know. So I was like, yo, but seriously, Drew, yo, you gotta talk to him, man, because we can't keep this shit up. Like, someone's gonna wind up dead down there, man. Like, this is gonna really get crazy, man. You know, I mean, like I said, I was shot with a fucking flare gun. Someone pulled out a gun on me. We're running around. I carry a fucking Stanley saw with me and shit like that. You know, fucking like, we're all, yo, that shit was really, really fucking crazy. And I remember that day. I was sitting there telling Lace, man, I'm like, yo, dude, man, someone's really gonna fucking get hurt down there. You know, I was like, JJ almost killed someone last night down there. You know, they literally, like, I thought the guy was dead. And JJ's like, oh, you thought he was dead, but he wasn't dead. So don't go saying I killed someone. They are not dead. And I was like, yo, fuck that, man. That dude was fucking dead. He just fucking, the will to want to survive and live. He snatched himself back into his fucking body because that dude was dead. And I was going on and on. And he said, yeah, but he wasn't. He got up. He left. He said goodbye to us and this and that. And he starts saying, JJ starts telling Andrew that I signaled him to do this. And I'm like, what the fuck you mean I signaled you? How did I give you a signal? And I'm telling him, I said, the guy says that he was crossing me out. And I know who it is. He's actually on Instagram. But anyway, I explained to Lace. I say, the guy tells me he was going over me on the A train. And I had no idea. So I told him, don't worry about it. I shook the guy's hand. I told him, look, just don't fuck with my shit no more. I turned around and started walking. All of a sudden, he's fucking on the floor unconscious. Man, what signal did I fucking give you? Like, John's like, nah, but you get, like, I sent some kind of signal to him to bash this guy in the fucking head with a crowbar. Technically, it's a crowbar. I'm like, I ain't give you no fucking signal. So anyway, after that whole thing plays out, Andrew's like, yo, for real, man, y'all gotta stop, man. That's some wild shit, man. You're gonna burn the place. Like, yo, you guys want to keep going down there and this and that, you know. So I'm like, and especially, like I said, the guys with the tools, man, they'll fucking kill me. You know, the people that steal this shit out of there. Yeah, you know, you don't want to fuck up a good gig. Anyway, we're done going through this whole thing. We're done. I just checked my whole camera over here. So we're done going through this whole shit. And John's a little sore at me. He's mad because I told Andy, I can't believe you told on me and shit. Like I told his dad or something, you know. But anyway, we go down into Tishman. Once again, the same place where the night before, JJ, I'm just trying to fix this camera. JJ smashed the guy in the head with this fucking metal thing, whether it was a fire extinguisher, can, you gotta listen to my other podcast, can of spray paint or a fucking hatch key, I don't know. Dude was cracked open. It was definitely a piece of metal. He didn't punch the dude in the head. And I remember, I'm pretty sure it was a hatch key. That's what I'm going with, hatch key. So anyway, after that whole thing happens, I explained to Andrew that, like, I'm kind of concerned that someone's really going to get hurt down there. It's like someone's going to wind up getting murdered down there, man. And it's like, yo, seriously, like, this shit was wild like that, man. So anyway, we go through the whole thing and this and that. Yeah, be more careful in the future. Don't fuck around like that no more. And, you know, John, we tell the same thing to and everything. Like, we'll be on our best behavior when we go down there, right? So now we go down that night into Tishman. This is about 2 in the morning now. You know, we all squash that shit. We're all going to be good little boys when we go down there. We're not going to fuck around no more. So we go down there and we bump into this guy. Now, this is a famous writer. Like, you know, he's been in the books, the movies and everything. He's old school. So Andrew gives him props. You know, Andrew respects the guy. He likes the guy. He looks at the guy as a legend. You know, it's like, you know, old school shit. So, you know, I like the guy too. Well, I did at that point. I guess I still do. Anyway, he's talking to Andrew on the catwalk. Because he heard us, but he's originally doing something down around the side of the train where he's standing on the tracks. He's not on the catwalk. He's on the other side. So Andrew's planning on doing a whole car. Right, so the guy's talking to Andrew. You know, originally he must have been hiding, sneaking around and shit, making sure we're not cops or someone that works there or something like that. So once he found out we were just writers, he popped out. Hi, how's it going? This and that. Starts talking. You know, so I could tell, like, I don't know, the guy was kind of dissing me. It's like, they're talking about a layup. You know, I forget exactly which one. But I think it was 205th on the 1 train or something like that, like way up on the 1 line. I forget. Let me stop. I'm making stuff up if I lie. I really don't remember what tunnel or station or layup they were talking about. But when they were talking about it, I've actually been to that place with Lace. So I'm like, oh shit, oh shit. You know, like I said, this guy's like a big wig rider and shit. You know, so I'm like, oh shit, yeah. What, I was 19 years old, 20 years old or something like that. So I'm like, yeah. Yo, Drew, right? Lace, yo, I've been there, right? Remember, I went there with you, right? I was there, you know? I was there. And the dude looked at me like, damn, chill, toy. Like, he didn't say nothing, but you could look at his mind. Like, he's like, shit, whatever. So he kind of like, I'm here. And he kind of like rubbed away from me and like kept talking to Andrew. He's like, yo, so Joe, yeah, this, that. So then they're talking about something else. And he's like, yo, that guy's telling Lace, like, yo, that piece you did, this and that, came off in that book of some crazy shit or another, you know. I'm like, yeah. So he starts talking about a piece to Lace. And I was actually there with him when he did it. So I was like, oh, yeah, yo, I was there. I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. And again, the dude looks at me like, yo, dude, man, like I was a toy. The guy was treating me like I was a toy, right? So now I was with JJ, like I said, this is after we had that whole long conversation about we're going to be good little boys. So I'm with JJ and shit. I'm like, yo, Drew, meaning Lace, I'm going to be over here. I'm just going to do a quick top to bottom and you know, be out. You know, just silver and black, just quick, big-ass bubble bath. I said, yeah, let me do it. So I do it. Right? So they're done talking. So now this guy goes back along the catwalk. So he passes me and JJ. Right? And I was really just trying to finish my shit up real quick. So he goes around the bend to back to where he was doing his stuff on the other side of the train. So we're on like the left side of the train and he's on like the right side of the train. So now, you know, I wait a couple minutes and shit. So I stop what I'm doing. I take my cans of paint, I put them up on the yellow rail there along the catwalk. So I go over to John. So John was just kind of hanging out. I don't believe he was painting anything. But we were going to wait to see how much paint was left over, and then we were all going to just throw a bunch of paint together for a big JJ, I believe was the plan. So anyway, I go over to JJ, and I'm like, yo, listen, keep Andrew's attention, you know, keep Lace's attention, keep him busy, okay? Yeah, so he's like, why, what's up? I was like, nah, this guy over here around the back, man, you know, I gotta talk to him and shit, you know, I do he kind of disrespectful and shit. I'm gonna go talk to that dude, man. So, the judge is like, all right. I was like, no, but yo, keep Drew busy over here, you know. He's like, yo, this, he's like, fuck that dude up. I'm like, yeah, word, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna beat that dude's ass, come out and mouth like that, you know. So, all right. So, now, you know, JJ is supposed to keep Andrew busy. And so I could beat this guy up real quick. So, you know, as soon as I get over there, right, and you can hear like bung, a little crashing and smashing and stuff, you know, because I walk over to the dude, and he's doing his line to his thing. So I kind of stand right in his way. So literally, his line is like, excuse me, can you move? You know, like I'm waiting for him to come out of his mouth like that. Like I literally stood right in front of him. So it's like his paint was like, you know what I mean? Like he couldn't do his line because I'm right there. Like I make it so he cuts short because I put my body like right there, like right up on him, like right there when his line's going like this, like he'd bang right into me and he couldn't do it. So he looks at me, I'm like, what's all that fucking shit you talking this that little, you know, so I grab my neck, push him up against the train, right? So I get him in a headlock, so I punch him in the face, right? All of a sudden I hear JJ. He's like, yo, come on, Lace, come on, hurry up, yo, Rob's beating that dude up, man. You see, you hear the motherfucker, this, that, you don't know how you act, this, that. So they come running around the bend, right? So Lace is like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? So I'm like, all right, my bad, man, fuck that. Let me just finish up over my shit. I'm going to do some shine lines and shit. You know, it's good, man, you know. All right, you know. So Andrew's like promising this guy, because like I said, he likes him, you know. He respects the dude. He's like, yo, I'm sorry about that, yo, man. I got this shit, man. Don't worry about it, man. Just finish up your shit, man, you know. You know. So the guy actually goes and starts his shit up again, you know. So at this point, now John comes up to me. Right? He's like, yo, you heard what that dude was talking about? Here we go, that dude was telling this time about Drew and how he would do this and how that I snuffed him and all this shit. And I said, he was saying it? And John, you know, JJ's like, yeah, he was talking shit like, yo, like you jumped him and shit like that and you snuffed him and he'll beat your ass. And I was like, what? I go back over, boom, boom, bash. What the fuck you saying? Boom, boom. comes running back over. John's like, yo, hurry up, yo, Rob is at it again, yo, come on, hurry up, Rob, fucking man. He's like, damn, man, what did we just tell you, Rob? Like little JJ, I swear, he's like 4 feet tall. So I'm like, man, let me go over here, man. He's like, nah, man, get the fuck out of here. Yeah, they're like, yo, get the fuck out of here, Rob. Like, yo, but I was like, yo, but he's leaving. Because at this point, the guy, you ain't going to tell him nothing to make him stay, man, unless you put a gun to his head and be like, yo, do your shit. You know, for real, like, the guy was leaving at that point. I was like, why do I gotta leave? He's leaving, you know, you want me to leave with him? That dude's really gonna catch a bad one, and that's how I got to stay. But yeah, Andrew and John, they were kicking me out the fucking tunnel. Yeah. True fucking story, but it's funny because, like, I'm not actually out of breath, man. This shit's hilarious. But what happens is, you see, because I told on John the night before, you know, about him almost killing someone, he tells Andrew on me about me sneaking up on the guy and beating him up, you know? Like, he's really supposed to be watching out for me and keeping Andrew busy and distracted while I fuck this guy up. But, yeah, that shit was fucking hilarious, man. We were laughing at that shit for months, man. Well, yeah, that was fun. I was like, because at this point, the guy, like, he's leaving, man. He ain't sticking around. Andrew's turning like, oh, come on, yo, stay, man, stay. Yo, come on, stay. What do you need some more paint? Like, the guy's like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. He's like, yo, like, no matter what, like, you couldn't even pay that guy to stay there no more. So I'm like, yo, come on, man, I'm going to leave with him. I'm going to fuck that dude up, man. I'll just follow behind that ass, man, when we in the tunnel alone, man, shit, you know? So Andrew's like, yo, what the fuck you got against this dude, man? Like, why are you doing this shit? Like, I thought, you know, like, yo, come on, if I show someone respect, like, you should show. I'm like, yo, that dude didn't show me respect. You know, he's like, well, come on, what the fuck are you, RD? Like, what the fuck is that? You know, he's like, this dude's been around and this and that and blah, 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 you know. So, like, but still, I mean, just as human beings, you know, like, like, he hurt my feelings and shit. So, yeah, fuck him, man. He's like, yo, man, I don't know how we gonna work this shit, man. Because, yo, seriously, man, that shit was wild, man. I was like, yo, I'm the first one to be like, yo, I'm surprised no one got killed down there, man, straight up. I am surprised. And normally that's what goes down, like the shit gets crazy. I'm not talking about in the graffiti world, but normally, yeah, when shit, there's good gigs, good money being made, you know, someone's going to wind up dead, like, yeah. And I was honestly shocked that, like, that didn't happen down there. Because it was really getting fucking crazy down there. I swear, it's like 10 flights of stairs coming down to get to that place. I'm not sure if it's exactly 10, so I know some of you crazy motherfuckers that are really into graffiti probably actually counted the stairs. Like, Ven might know actually how many flights of stairs there are. PMer's another one, any of them dudes. Ghost, Saint, Cento, Cent. Fucking all them people are down there fucking around. They'll tell you, if they don't know exactly how many flights it is, they'll be like, oh, that's a lot of fucking stairs to go down. I'm just going to tell you because I am trying to explain something to you. So I am going to say 10 flights of stairs. Maybe it's 14. Maybe it's more. It's like more than fucking 10. But I'm going to say 10, okay? This is what I would do. Or we would do when we were going down. We'd go down them fucking stairs. And I swear, on the 9th flight, like maybe it's not 9, but 9th flight, before you got one more to go, if it was 10, we'd wait till the last flight before the stairs. And we would just sit there for like 10, 15 minutes and just catch our breath from going all the way down them stairs. You could be going all the way down them stairs. You come around the corner and, yo, it's on. Like, what? You're getting stabbed up. You're getting shot with fucking flare guns. People pulling out guns and shit. Like, yo, for real. I would stop. We would actually stop on the 9th floor down and wait like this. Just close our eyes and be perfectly quiet. And just catch our breath and just close our eyes and listen. And you would hear noises and smell spray paint. You'd be like, yo, someone's definitely here. And you'd be like, bing! You'd be like, you heard that? So we would just wait. And I swear, I would actually be giving myself like a pep talk inside. Like, come on, come on! Like, you got this shit! Like, yo, I swear, man. We'd fucking go down that flight of stairs. We'd go in there. Like, we had to, like, mentally prepare ourselves for that shit, yo. For real, that shit was fucking wild, man. I ain't gonna fucking front. Yeah, that shit was crazy, man. That shit was like spoffing crazy. For real. Yeah, it was like, Mad Max or some shit. Remember they're all fighting over the gas and the oil and the water? Yeah, it was really like that, man. It fucking was like that, Like, there was like the last bunch of trains left. And it was like, I felt like the gatekeeper, I ain't gonna lie, man. That's what I meant by that Easter hole car. Like, the Easter hole train that I let run. Yeah. That fucking thing was right in front of me. I would go through, like, say, on the weekends, but eventually, you see how I would sneak whole cars out of that place, and it wouldn't get caught by a ghost inventing them? At least not on the first run. There's a couple of them that snuck out, and they'd catch them somewhere else, or they'd just catch them shits on, and like, they'd get that shit in the station when it's moving, and shit, just photograph something floating around. But I would be able to get them out, because I would go during the week. And then one day I bumped into them during the week. Right? They actually thought, hey, let's go during the week. Yeah, you know, they're graffiti writers, they thought just like we thought, but yeah. Anyway, that place was fucking hairy. What we would do, me and JJ, I swear, it would be like Sunday night, but would be really Monday morning. At like 4:50, 5 o'clock, we'd get down there. Because they're pulling them things out. Like, I swear, we'd get to the very first car, and I would go through this shit like an art critic. And I'd walk through each and every fucking train in there. And I would just go over fucking whoever the fuck was a dick to me or whoever I didn't like. And I made mistakes. So did JJ. At one point, it was kind of like his job to do that shit. And he's like, man, fuck this shit. Like, he kind of scribbled out everyone's. He wasn't allowed to do it no more. At least not accompanied. You know, he had to be accompanied by someone. Because, yeah, you know, I fucked up a couple of times, too. I went over a Revs. Like a Revlon, I believe, or I think that's what it said later on when I saw that. I didn't mean to do that. But yeah, because you have, like, say here's the train, right here would be the wall. And when you're in between, it's like, for me, it's like shoulder is to the wall and this shoulder is to the train. Like, if I go like this with my elbows, I'm hitting the train in the wall. Yeah. So it was pretty well lit. You know, especially at that point, your eyes get dilated, you're down there for a while and shit. But I would actually go in there and we'd walk through the first 10 cars. And as we were like at the 10th or 9th car, the lights would go on that train. That means the motorman, the conductors, everyone, they're pulling that shit out for Monday morning. And I would actually go through at that time, and the trains would be sticky, and you'd smell the paint. Yeah, I used to feel like God, man. For real, that shit was like godly, man. I felt like a god, man. I missed that shit, yo. I just be like, fuck them, man. Yo, fuck this dude over here, too. And fuck him while I'm at it. Like, yeah, you really sit down and think about it. I probably ragged more whole cars than Cap, man. Yeah, I probably did fucking get more than Cap NPC. I mean, he had a video movie and all that and stuff, so, you know, his stuff is more recognized and shit. But as far as it goes with whole cars, yeah, I probably got more. Like, you know, everyone was just doing whole cars. I'm telling you, I'm getting these shits before anyone even sees them. The only person who saw them is the artist that did it. And I was getting them, like all the shit Cap and them were getting, the windows were already clean, most of the shit was already running for a couple of months. I mean, in my personal opinion, yeah. I mean, it's not a title I care to brag about, but yeah, you could honestly sit there and say that, yeah, I probably ragged more whole cars than Cap did, because, yeah, Cap, NPC, yeah. I mean, you're talking whole cars, yeah, because not everyone was doing whole cars back then. Most of the people are doing shit under the windows. But I guess if you do it under the windows and then you just fluff out the background, technically they're doing whole cars too. Like a lot of that rock star shit and yeah. So I don't know. It's a toss up. And like I said, I'm not sitting here trying to take the guy's title away or anything like that. I didn't even want to cross any of them fucking whole cars out, to be truthful. Yeah, I was warring with everyone the whole fucking time. At this point, it's like I saw maybe fucking a year ahead of me of graffiti before there's no more subways, which really winded up being like 8 months or something until they really started. Yeah, until like, yeah, it was crazy. I mean, I had a good 3 or 4 year run down under Tishman. But yeah, we were like at the end, like the beginning of the last year of it running at that point, yeah. And it was just like, it was insane, man. It really was. It's like Mad Max and shit. That is true. Like, I mean, okay, Mad Max, it's a movie, but that theory and that thought behind it, like, yo, I would actually mentally, like, prepare myself to go down there. Like, we'd have saws and shit like that. And yeah, we'd make sure our sneakers are tied and shit. Yo, it was on, man. Yo, for real, we used to call that shit the 357 No Love Tour. Yeah, no love tour, man. Fuck that, we was setting it off, man. Those were good times. But yeah, J.A. was nowhere to be found at that point, man. He wasn't fucking around down there, man. That's when he was taking over the city. You know, he was fucking tearing up the streets up above, man. Yeah, as far as it goes with him being down there, nah, he ain't never went back down there. I saw that just in the beginning couple of weeks when he went down there, and he never ever went back. He never stepped a foot back down there. And if he did, show me the pictures of him over me. You know, like, no, it didn't happen. I'm telling you. He got like all these guys venting, ghosting him. A bunch of people like, yeah, but how is that possible? I'll tell you, he's from the city. And, yo, us people from New York City, we're faster, we're quicker. Like, we're from the city, New York, New York. And the outer boroughs are actually exactly what they sound like, the outer boroughs. I mean, technically, and like, people like him and, like, people from the Upper West Side and the rich, yo, they look at y'all like country folk. For real, if you're from, like, fucking Brooklyn or Staten Island or the Bronx or Queens, you're country folk to them, man. Yeah, for real. Yeah. There's actually an example I could think of with Liz. Was it, yeah, Liz Grubman. Lizzie Grubman. Yeah, perfect example. Now, she was out in the Hamptons, but that's like Long Island, which is like Queens. I mean, it's not that far out. And she was in the parking lot of some, once again, this Lizzie Grubman was from this neighborhood here. The rich people, you know. Like I was explaining about the people that, like with JA and that, like social class and like financial security and stuff like that. Lizzie Grubman. Google her. I haven't thought about it or done any research on it. But I do remember from what I'm remembering of it actually happening and seeing it on the news. And that's another perfect example of someone from this neighborhood. Yeah. And she actually went to the same school as Vanessa Hayden and M. Dwight School. Same group of people pretty much. I think Tyra Reid was with her. But anyway, he's out in the Hamptons. I think she's drunk or something like that. She's in the parking lot of a club. I don't know, they don't want her in there or what. I don't know the whole story. But what it boils down to is there's literally a crowd of people outside. And she goes like this. And she says, like, fuck you, white pieces of shit. No, white trash. You white trash pieces of shit. Now, mind you, this is the Hamptons, man. Those people got money. But you white trash pieces of shit. That's what the woman says. Now, she gets in like a big SUV and plows, smashes into these people. I think 16, 17 of these people are seriously injured and have to go to the fucking hospital. Yeah, true fucking story. You white trash pieces of shit. I think because there's too many people online or they couldn't get her in the club. I mean, she's really not an attractive woman. Even when she was younger, she wasn't that pretty. Nowadays, if you look at her, man, yo, she looks like a pair of Timberland boots, man. Or like, you know the leather strap, the strap holder, Lee on the jeans, the L-E-E, that leather thing when it goes through the wash a lot, that's what her face looks like now. And back then, like, she really wasn't that pretty. But the funny thing is she's white, and she's like, you white trash pieces of shit. And she smashes into a crowd of people, injuring 16 of them. No, she got in hardly any trouble at all, from what I remember. Hell yeah, I mean, I know she never, like, yo, for real, like, first off, she's drunk driving, she, possible fucking attempted murder or something. I mean, maybe vehicle, man, some crazy fucking road rage or some crazy shit. But, you know, that shit sounds like a lot of fucking shit that a fucking judge will have a feast on, you know? But it winds up, you know, she's got money, and I believe her father's a lawyer. Big-time lawyer, too. Probably handled big cases. I might be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure her father was a lawyer. I don't know. You can look it up. Lizzie Grubman. And, you know, she went to court, and she's like, well, I didn't know. I mistake the gas for the brake, and oops, I'm sorry. And, oh, it's okay, don't worry about it. Yo, for real, if I did that shit, or you guys, I don't know who you people are out there. I'm just using that as a term, but you motherfuckers could be richer than all of us, for all I know. The fuck looking at this video, out there in video world, you know? Hello there. Yeah, she fucking pulled that shit off, man. She ain't getting no trouble, man. I don't know if I don't think she went to jail or anything for that. She probably had to go see a probation officer or something. Maybe had to go to schools and talk about drunk driving or something like that at the worst. But, I mean, if we did that shit, like, once again, I'm saying we, but you know what I mean. Like, if I did some shit like that, yo, I probably wouldn't be able to sit here doing this podcast with y'all. And that shit was back then, man. That was like in the 90s, I remember, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, she's from this neighborhood, and she's from that same group of people that we're talking about. They all got money, and they hang out and sit on these steps at the Metropolitan Museums, and it's like XOXO, the whole Gossip Girls type thing. But that's pretty much like the financial, like, ideology of these people. That is where JA's people's from. When I mean people, I just mean his like mindset and he's a yuppie, he's a yuppie, man. Yeah, bottom line. But I mean, like I said, I got no problems with the dude now. And like we squash beef and everything, it's all love, yeah, yeah, he's probably steaming if he ever watches this shit. But I'll tell you one thing, on a good note. Hey, a lot of people like this shit, man. It's good clickbait, man. You put that shit JA in your shit, you get a lot of fucking views and a lot of things, and that's the weird thing. But hey, that's one thing that, one thing I noticed is you, just by having JAXTC in the title of these videos, it's getting, and just look at the amount of people that are looking at it and stuff like that. So, thank you, JA. Good looking out, dog. Let me leave it at that, man. But yeah, Lizzie Grubman, man, for real. That's like, but that's a Manhattanite, because you got to realize the Hamptons. Google that shit too, people. You Google that shit. That's all rich and famous people out there in the Hamptons, and she's calling them white trash pieces of shit. Meanwhile, she's as fucking white as anything, man. At least, well, now, like I said, she really does look like a piece of dried up leather, man. But yeah, and when she was younger, she really wasn't pretty, man. I don't know. I guess she was okay, I mean, check me out, who the fuck am I to judge, man? All right, yo, take care, people.